Welcome to Ascension with Becky and Lina. And we're here to cultivate a community of like-minded souls who are navigating their spiritual journey and to empower you every step of the way. Each episode, we dive into historic wisdom, soul ascension, and practical takeaways to support your growth. If you enjoy this content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you never miss an episode. And if there's anything you'd love to hear more about, well then drop a comment below and we'd love to connect with you. Let's rise together.
Thank you so much, Becky. Thank you everybody for being here and welcome to this March New Year in 2025. The astrological new year has begun and we're in full flight. And I just wanted to start off by thanking you and thanking Becky, and very grateful for this opportunity to share all the love and light with you all. So first off, we're going to start off by opening the space and connecting and being present in this moment. So when you're all ready, find a comfortable place, roll your shoulders back, take a deep breath in, and exhale. Stare at a point in front of you, and when you're ready, gently close your eyes. Inhale and exhale slowly as I start to cleanse and clear our space to connect divinely, sacredly, thoughts may come and go. Just observe them. Don't get attached. Simply observe your breath. And when you're ready, take your arms behind your back, gently clasping your right wrist. Inhale, and upon exhale, bow forward and release all that does not serve you. Surrender to Mother Earth. Let go of all your worries, fears, doubts. And on that inhale, come up. And exhale, go down towards your right. Mother Earth is there to take care of any stress, anxiety, worries, frustrations. And come up, inhale. And one last. Surrender to your left. And inhale, come up. Release your arms from behind. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Namaste. Namaste, and thank you all for being here.
Oh, I do love it when we connect back in with the earth, and grounding is what we need this week, I think, isn't it?
Definitely. There's a lot happening in the ethers at the moment. 2 retrogrades, Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, a blood moon happening today in Australia, and a lot of release and let go. So it can bring about some unstable changes or feeling like your feet can't touch the ground. But it's okay. That's why we're here. We're here to connect, collaborate, and vibe with our soul tribe.
Absolutely. And I know everybody's been feeling it. And yes, just know that it isn't just within you, it's the energies that is going on all around. And also, obviously, here in Brisbane, more specifically, in the last week, we've had a big cyclone hit. So those energies coming through, and obviously what is left in its wake for people to manage and deal with as well. So a lot going on. So it's okay to let the emotions flow with people, and for them to kind of connect back in to themselves. And that was a perfect little few moments there that we can take. So thank you.
You're welcome, Becky. Thank you.
So what else has been going on for you, Lina, in the last sort of week or two? What have your learnings, lessons? What's shown up?
Some positives. Yeah, it's really about getting into the observer mode, being on your eagle's perch, as I like to say, and adapting or really embodying that mentality of a yogic practice, of a yoga teacher, is being the observer, holding space, being present in the moment. Because we tend to, you know, we reflect on the past and we hold emotions where we may be depressed or we're anxious about the future. And it's really important to bring yourself back to the here and now, because that's where the magic is. That's where we can manifest our reality, is from the present. And when we are in that observer mindset, if external circumstances are coming at us, it is a place of Zen. Dropping into that, taking that breath is so important. And especially right now, it really is. Exercising that muscle is what it's all about, is exercising the need, and looking at the power within dropping into that stillness within yourself. Is what I've found that has come up from clients and people that I've connected with, and myself, reflecting on myself. So it's really important. Yep. Stay in that observer mode. Look at what's going around and don't attach yourself to thoughts, feelings. Yoga is all about silencing the fluctuations of the mind and realizing if something does, cause an internal physical reaction and you want to speak, it's really important to hold back, take that breath. Is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary to engage? Because, these things can happen throughout the day. Things can come out of the blue, whether it's relationships, random people in the supermarket or anything, your children, family, friends. And it's really, really crucial right now to just be in that observer mode. Come to your eagle's perch and take that breath. So yes, I think that's the biggest reflection I've seen over the last couple of weeks.
Great. And I would absolutely say, especially when we saw with the cyclone and the fear mongering that I feel that went on, and the overhype from the media. And where is it that we are putting our attention and our focus? Where are we getting caught up in that own cyclone and drama of other people? That, really, you take that higher level perspective, that higher level view, and being able to sort of see that bigger picture, and not get attracted in by that energy and other people's fears, which are going to put, yourself in your own spiral from that side. Like you say, coming from that place of love. So I know with the cyclone, there were very many people doing let's blow at the cyclone. Alfred, did you see that? There was an event with over 100,000 people that were going to blow the cyclone away. And then I think the next day, when the cyclone was staying out in the ocean, he didn't come as predicted. And then there was another event with let's all raise our vacuum cleaners to suck Alfred up inland quicker. And it's I love the Aussie sort of sense of humor with that. But the way that, I see things from that bigger picture is really just sort of send things love. You being that observer from that cyclone, it's almost like send it love. Be like a big sunshine that's going to dissipate all that sort of energy as you kind of send it that loving embrace from there. So try not to get drawn into other people's dramas and fears and things like that, because that's just feeding stories, building up sort of, those unwanted emotions.
Yeah.
You can choose to, be the observer instead. And the way that I find that is sort of finding things interesting on how other people view things. That's interesting. I'm curious, sort of from an understanding. But in regards to saying about finding that stillness inside, we did have a member in the group actually say that she was struggling to find sort of a quiet place in the day to be able to connect deeper with herself. So it's, what would you say in regards to that? We've just taken a few moments there, literally a couple of minutes is all it needs to take sometimes as a starting point to be able to find that stillness, connect in with intention within yourself. But practices, like you say, like yoga, meditation and things can do that. And find a non-negotiable time for yourself, even if it's in the shower, where you spend that time for yourself. But they were also looking at, how and where they can go forward. What will life look like for them? How do they know what they want? What would you sort of apply to that as well, Lina?
So to answer the first part of your question, sometimes the universe asks us to level up, and a lot of that is becoming like the old selves are dying. Like I've mentioned and I've said, Pisces new moon is the accumulation of all the zodiac signs that have gone before it. It's a new moon and it has all the wisdom of those zodiacs. So we, as the, being the full card, coming full circle and starting a new journey again, we've gone through all of the ebbs and flows and acquired all this knowledge, acquired all this wisdom. What do we do with it? So I think the biggest thing is reflection, writing down some reflection points, starting off and getting into a high vibration, writing 10 positive points in the morning, in the evenings, as you wake up, before bed. Easy, easy. Start I am affirmations. If you're unclear of what you want right then and there, if it's a new car or traveling or those sorts of things, if you're not sure exactly, you're not drawn to those particular places, get into that energy, get into those higher vibrations by cultivating a space within yourself that is fertile ground. That is so important, as we do it anyway, but the intention behind cultivating that ground is for when you are ready and you do know what you want to manifest and where you want to go. You have these beautiful frameworks to use. Oh, yeah, I did my 10 positive points today and I'm cultivating this love and appreciation for myself. And subconsciously, you might start manifesting the things that you do want if that conscious mind hasn't kicked in yet of what you want to call in or where you're going to go. The beauty about release, and I think this is really important as a collective, we are in a period of releasing what no longer serves us, what has played out over the past 10, 15 years, etc. And with that release, people get scared. Oh, I don't have this anymore and don't have that. And it's normal. It is, loss, grief. It's normal. It's normal to experience this as a human. It's part of our journeys collectively. But going back to that, it's also an opportunity to start something new. There may be a void period there where we're stuck in limbo and our feet haven't touched the ground and we don't know. That's a beautiful space to be in too. Appreciate the pauses, appreciate those silent moments, and leverage those silent moments. Oh, this is silent. When we did have the cyclone, we're at home. We can't go out. We're not doing, our extracurricular activities. So what do you do with that time? Were you effective during that time? Or was it just, okay, it's a movie day today. It's a movie day today. Did you take that time and leverage it and use it to your advantage? Or were we just kind of stuck and stagnant? We don't have to stay stuck and stagnant. We use our creativity, our spark of inspiration, our internal inspiration. And you can get those. And it all starts with little acts, 10 positive points, a quick meditation, affirmations in the morning shower is one of my favorites. But yes, it's really important to just cultivate that. If you don't really know necessarily where you want to go, that internal compass, sometimes that can be a chakra clearing that needs to occur. But that internal compass with those small acts, that internal compass will kick in and show you exactly where you're going to go. And just be okay with not knowing. It's really hard. It can be quite difficult, especially as for myself, a intuitive empath with prophesizing abilities. But that's it, letting go for a moment, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. The universe is cooking up a beautiful show for you, and you just do your part by staying high vibrational, feeding your soul in these little ways. And then those little ways will grow. You will find inspiration with those little acts that you do. Oh, I'm going to change it up today. I'm going to do 20 positive points. I'm going to talk about this to my friend and those sorts of things. It snowballs from there. Just start by doing one thing, stay consistent with it, and it will snowball, and you'll be surprised what you can get. 100%.
Absolutely. I love that. And just some of the things you were saying there, I was just smiling to myself in drawing cards, because you said about how this time is a great clearing and sort of, purging. One of the cards I pulled this week after a bit of a purge was the Fool. So it's
I
like,
know, I did catch that little smile.
and new beginnings. I also had strength and justice in there that were very apt. But also I did capture this on video. I pulled two cards. You're talking about looking at the reflections. I asked what was it I needed to know from one deck, and I drew the mirror card. And then I pulled a second deck that also had the mirror card. So this is how, spirit and everything talks to you. That's definitely a sign to look. What are those mirrors out there? And, the things that people say to you were really a true reflection of them. It's kind of what's coming out from you is that things that you should be sort of looking and observing at yourself. But also looking at those other signs and feeling supported from that way. I've noticed that my house is surrounded by dragonflies. I feel like I've got portals somewhere. And it's like, looking at dragonflies, they're actually a symbol of good luck and transformation and change. The Native Americans actually saw them as souls of the dead and messages from loved ones, which I have had a great grandma come through to me in a meditation. And this week it's been the anniversary of her death 21 years ago. So that was beautiful, as she had never come through to me before. But, again, looking at the meaning of the dragonflies, I was kind of understanding them a little bit more. And their vision, they do see 360 degrees, and 80% of their brain is dedicated to sight. And it's that seeing beyond the limitations. Like you're saying, it's sort of being okay, not knowing that final sort of outcome, but being able to be that observer of everything around, on what's going on, and seeing the vastness of the universe, of life, of yourself, seeing beyond the limitations from yourself. And how they have so much agility to go in 6 different directions, and such power and poise. And how they're beautiful and iridescent, and looking at sort of how that is like multifaceted or multidimensional kind of things. So what symbols are you seeing? What signs are you seeing regularly in your environment? As this can be a sign from spirit, from, loved ones and things, and start noticing those patterns and understand what is it that they mean to you, because you will be getting these different markers and different signs coming through. And like you were saying, Lina, if you're intent on one kind of outcome, then you'll miss these other beautiful opportunities and messages that are being given to you. So it's that enjoy the journey, take every moment as it comes, and sort of, yes, if you're the observer, you'll see these beautiful opportunities that come through, and choose to live in that moment.
100%. That openness, stay open to what the universe is bringing to your very eyes, to your very being, to your realm. It's funny also, just on that point quickly about, your signs. I connected with a friend of mine. And I was reading his cards actually. And his reading was somewhat about, tapping into those old signs and symbols and synchronicities that you may not have really paid attention to. So sometimes as we grow on our journey, those little signs we don't go investigating and stay curious, stay in that curiosity as we used to. Like, for example, and it really came to me just before I did his reading again, or with that foresight of seeing into things, but that's my gift, being able to see somewhat of the future before it occurs. And I had this download, I had this come into my realm where I saw a gray fluffy little feather, and feathers were one of the first things on my journey that I started to pick up and notice. And really, really interesting, he had a Native American divine masculine card come out, and they have these beautiful headdresses, a mohawk, and like he was and it really spoke to connecting all of these different tribes together, and this is part of his purpose, but also drawing inspiration from signs, symbols, synchronicities of that old wisdom that you don't really tap into as much as you used to, but calling back and drawing those old seeds of knowledge back into the here and now and looking at it with new, fresh eyes, I think is also something that collectively we need to be, look at the magic, look at the mysticism of things, step into that curiosity and using your imagination, especially as we move from the 3D into the 5D. There's going to be a massive shift. It's not already happening, and it's going to carry out over the next 6 months. And staying curious and staying in that magic and staying in that high vibration, it's birthed from a spiritual place. A telepathy is a ancient skill, a sense that we all have. We all have this. And, that telepathy has drowned out. We've kind of almost damaged that sense in a way, unless you're actively working on it and strengthening it. And that is one of the main abilities as a 5D, when we are in the fifth dimension, is that telepathy and connecting with, our like-minded souls and the world around us. So it's important to exercise those abilities at this time and step into the magic, step into the mysticism.
Thank you. What do you say is the meaning of pulling two of the same cards?
It's just clarifying that message, really clarifying that message, and obviously strengthening that message. So the mirrors, what have you noticed come up from that, or how does that resonate for you?
It's the world is a reflection, as a mirror from everything, from what you're emitting out there. But I had to sort of take a moment to realize as well, it's also somebody else's mirror kind of thing. And what's coming from them is more about them than it is kind of about you from that side. But there are mirrors, it's that what lies beneath as well, in that reflection. What are you putting out there? But also how they can emit more light, shine more light, see beyond or different levels and layers and things. yeah, there was more that came up for me, sort of thing. But
Well,
yeah.
yeah, and they're portals too, Becky. They're portals to, and be mindful in terms of, you know, who's using your mirrors, cleanse them, lock them, etc. Because people can obviously access them. And I always speak about, you know, the shadow aspects too, because it is something to be mindful of. When we are spiritual beings, there's not always going to be positive entities coming through. I'm grateful that your great grandmother came through. That's beautiful. And that could also be, you know, related to your mirrors too. Good energies coming through, and giving you those messages, and saying hello and celebrating with you almost. So, and protecting you as well. Yeah, but that's it. Projection is a big thing.
Yeah.
And it is probably going to happen a lot because we are going into Aries as well. Aries season always comes with a lot of fire. But let's do a collective energy tarot card reading, and I'll be clarifying with another tarot card deck, and a few oracles in there as well, a couple of different oracles. So thank you so much for being here, supporting our channel, and let's get into the reading. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, gods and goddesses, please protect me as I channel these messages for our collective. What do the collective need to hear and know at this time? Any negative energy sent to harm me or my collective, I send it back with love and light. What are the messages the collective need to hear and know at this time? Okay, so we've pulled the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is all about meditation or resting. After, you know, the world outside has brewed up a storm and the clouds are clearing, now it's your chance to rest. Take that time for yourself, and find that place of peace. Resting after the storm, go into a deep meditation. Spirit
Just
guides,
spoken about that.
yes, exactly. If this message has found you, please take the parts that do resonate, leave anything that doesn't for somebody else. The intention is to help, support, and guide you on
Five
your
of
journey. So we have Five of Wands. Five of Wands is conflict, chaos, arguments. These tensions may come up. Again, go into your observer mode because you will be victorious. Seven of Wands. Look at that. These guys don't even know what they're doing. They don't even know how to pick a fight.
and yay.
And there is the victory for the collective. There is the victory for each and every one of us.
Beautiful.
When we, if somebody does come at us with an attitude, let's say, it's our choice. It's all about choices, especially right now, but it's our choice whether we engage and almost buy into it. Think of it as investing into this fight. Okay, yeah, I'll put $5 down. Do you know what I mean? Do you want to give away your energy, your time, your money, your resources to that? No, I'll keep my $5. Thank you. And you can just hold that space, feel your emotions, whatever you're going through, breathe and walk away. Nobody needs an explanation, whether that's in work, love, relationships, etc. Yourself sometimes. Okay, you know what? This thought isn't serving me. We're going to let that go. Feel it, let it come up, let it do its thing, and then release it with love. There is communication coming in after this battle has been fought, and after you feel this victory, which is great. And it's a cup of new love. So again, because we have Venus retrograde, we are talking about self-love, relationships, sibling relationships, and also finances. So because there is a lot of wand energy, it can do with friendships or loved ones. The wand energy is that passion, that courage, that fire, those solar plexus chakras and sacral chakra. And then we have that cup of new love coming through, whether it's platonic, romantic. Just trust and know that you will feel that nurturing, kind, caring new offer. And pay attention to these lotuses. The lotus grows in the thick of the mud, the most challenging circumstances, and it blossoms and it blooms into what we see as this gorgeous lotus. So trust and know these battles that you have been fighting and that you have been going through are not in vain. And at the bottom of the deck, we have deception, and it's okay. Because we have 10 of Cups, ultimate joy, emotional fulfillment. The deception can be there. What do they say? Let sleeping dogs lie. I don't know, that came to mind. So if people are being deceptive or self-deception, depending on if it is to do with somebody else or if it's yourself, when we let go of those self-limiting beliefs and we come into the 10 of Cups energy, this is the start of it. Ace of Cups. This is the energy you don't see, is the deception, and the 10 of Cups behind that. So trust and know whatever negative energies are lurking in the shadows, you will be victorious. Stay in your love, stay in your light, stay in that Ace of Cups. Just get a couple more messages. One divine masculine card, because these have been actually really nice messages that I've been getting through, whether it's a loved one you're dealing with, a divine masculine in your life, or if it is the masculine part of yourself. There is a message here for you. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, gods and goddesses, can we please have one divine masculine card? What is your advice? What is your advice, Spirit, in this situation for the collective? Oh, so we have Cation, and we also have Synanos. So I'll read the quick meanings for these because they are quite profound and there's no real interpretation for these particular oracle cards. If you know these divine masculines and they resonate for you, more power to yourself because that obviously is quite good. And just it also reaffirms these messages are for you. Trying to get this camera angle right. Cation. Work on your lack mentality to increase the flow of abundance. A feeling of security is awaiting you. Your relationship with money will be aligned with bountiful receptivity. There we go. And then Cernunnos. Cernunnos. I love how the moon is somewhat eclipsed there as well. And pay attention to the imagery, as I always say. It's always going to be quite helpful, and you may see messages that resonate for you. Tap into your wild nature and relish in your freedom. Time in a relationship and time alone both have pros and cons. Ensure you maximize your time alone when you have it.
Again, coming back to that stillness.
Yes. So we'll do a Beyond the Merrier, and then I'll just finish off with a chakra insight oracle message. So what chakras that we need to focus on at this time? Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, gods and goddesses, Lemurians. What are the messages for the collective at this time? What are the messages for the collective at this time? Okay, beautiful. So we have balanced forces.
The moon's there again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the
Eclipse.
feminine from him, isn't it? From
Yeah,
Selenite card that we've
yeah,
just had. Yeah.
definitely, especially with the crest on the head.
And I keep seeing that. And do you know what? Horus, the goddess Horus has been coming up for me lately, and she has the bull rings and the sun between as
Yeah,
well.
I've got it. It is quite profound. Ah, balanced forces. The Lemurian people are said to have been androgynous, a perfect balance of what became masculine and feminine energy as it densified in physical form. This card invites you to look at masculine and feminine energy from a more balanced perspective, like you picked up on, Becky. What needs to happen to form a more holistic and equalized foundation? For more masculine drive and focus, concentrate on goals, desires, and ambitions. If you want to engage more feminine energy for receptivity, trust, flow, and surrender. Consider all the things you are already grateful for. Feel the warmth, gratitude, and comfort of knowing everything is divinely perfect, just the way it is. So yes, and that's why I like doing the Divine Masculine deck and drawing more and dipping more into that energy for that balance. It's important because that's what brings us back into balance.
Mm.
And then we have trust your inner sense.
Again, I can still see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the
Blossoming
telepathy,
now.
like telepathic antennas. Who knows? Maybe it's a lot more, but that's something that's coming through for me. Sometimes it can be hard to decipher between intuition and what our inner mind is telling us, as I see this star as well. Stories, projections, or fear can arise under the gaze of intuition. To distinguish truthful inner guidance from paranoia, we must return to innocence, to our purest essence. Here we have access to the truth of our being. Honesty is more than not lying to yourself. It is also about not withholding and having deep transparency within yourself. Learn to trust and be absolutely honest with yourself. In your heart of hearts, you hold the answers. Notice the first thoughts you have before you second guess yourself. Listen and honor these. And that exercise, in and of itself, strengthens your intuitive abilities. 1,000%.
Love that card.
Perfect. So I'll get into the chakra. One last card, Chakra Insight Oracle, and then we'll leave the card reading there.
Is it going to be a root chakra balancing one, I wonder, for the grounding people need?
Yeah.
Or self-expression, I think. I felt very much the last card was a little bit of that throat chakra coming through as well.
Look, to be honest, a couple of reads that I have done lately have been a mixture of a couple of those. So the root chakra, throat chakra, and crown chakra blockages. So spirit guides, angels, ancestors, gods and goddesses. What is the chakra that the collective need to focus on at this time? Chakras. Okay, just the one card, but at the bottom we have divine consciousness. 49, card 49, numerology 3. Interconnection, expansion, oneness, and light.
Beautiful. I feel that's more the
Yes. So we have emotions, card 11. Twin flame, for any twin flames out there. Emotions, feelings, expression, moods, and balance. Solar plexus, chakra. That's sacral chakra energy. That's why I had to think for a second. I was like, oh, what? Hang on.
It's got the yellow in there as well. So
yeah,
which is that self-empowerment, your self-worth, and self-expression.
yeah.
So from the solar.
And if this feels like you, do you feel like you're like, ah, all
I can
over the
see
place?
it in the world around. Yes, I have felt like that this week. And it's very apt because, this download session here has been about emotions. What I'm going to be talking about shortly is about emotions. So Spirit is here with us, alongside us, helping deliver these messages. So it's beautiful. Thank you. Any overall wrap up there, or?
You have narrated the reading quite well, I think, coming up with the emotions and, from either end, that fire energy, anger, frustration, feeling drained emotionally, mentally, physically, when we see the Four of Swords. It's a lot. It can be a lot. And taking that rest until you have to fight another battle again. But just trust and know that, and keep your eye on the prize. That Ace of Cups is coming. Your wish fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, and then followed by the Ten of Cups. Like I said, that deception energy is lurking in the background. That's okay. And like I said, if it's whether it's yourself or with others, if it's self-deception or with others, trust and know that none of it really matters. Just keep your emotions in check, because the Ten of Cups is coming and it's going to be specially delivered. Special delivery.
Can't wait.
Sending out those ripples. Okay, surrender. Surrender to the pulse that moves you towards your creative destiny and life of great purpose. Surrender to the pulse that moves you towards your creative destiny and life of great purpose. A life of great purpose. Okay, Mercury retrograde, get out of here. Let go of the old tales and write your own adventure story. Yeah, purge. We can, maybe that Four of Swords energy is all about that purging as well that's going on. So just, feel those feelings, thank them, show them gratitude, show them peace, show them compassion. Because if we show ourselves that compassion and we nurture parts of ourselves, inner child healing, etc., it really just helps to release and surrender. And let go with love. So these are the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much. And I hope they resonated for you. Any parts that didn't resonate, just take what does and leave the rest.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. Definitely resonating with me. Every single card. And I love how they tie into each other. Even those last two tied into the sacral chakra with that creativity and, finding your play. And the overall message that we've had today, is finding that stillness, being that observer. And with those emotions as well, I just wanted to kind of carry on that flow in regards to looking at water. And I know we mentioned water in our download 1 in our first episode. But really, the secret power of just simple water. Many of you may know the work of Dr. Emoto's experiments with water. Are you familiar with that? He was studying water and he found out that really kind of water holds memory. And we could say that water has a consciousness, or the fact that our human consciousness really affects water and the programming of water. Now, if I just going to jump probably to some slides to show you. So these are some of the experiments that he took with water. He would take a water droplet and turn it into an ice crystal, and then look at that crystal in what it represented. And as you can see here, there's examples of water from different places around the world, and different energies that have been exposed to the water. And water that have come from here, we have polluted water before a prayer, and how that ice captured is kind of, it's not pretty looking. But yet after a prayer, that water changed its structure and became a lovely symmetrical ice crystal. Again, he took experiments from saying and words to water. So if you look down here, we've got Mother Teresa. And you could say these words to a glass of water. You could write the words on a piece of paper underneath, and just exposing the water to these energies. Mother Teresa made a beautiful water crystal there. And then they did the experiment with Adolf Hitler. And I can't say that looks so pretty from that side. Now, this has been extended into some schools as well, and other experiments that people have done in regards to rice and plants. So this is an experiment where people have taken some rice that has been soaked in water and they've left it for a few weeks. One that says, I love you, one that says, I hate you. And after 2 weeks, this is the result of how that rice, that's the same rice in the same environment, just different containers, just receiving different energies, and how it has appeared, which is pretty ugly looking, I would say. The other one I wanted to show you, I'll talk more on this experiment for me, but while I'm just screen sharing, is the work of Vida Austin, and how she is exposing water to various different images, and how that water is crystallizing and producing those images. So here we've got, she's put, and she does it in a Petri dish, so literally exposing it to the number 4. And this can be for sort of a matter of seconds before crystallizing it. And you can see here the number 4 has appeared in the crystal. You can see that these other experiments, it has replicated the picture of a face when exposed to the face, crystals and the likes. She has done many more experiments, even playing music to the water and seeing the reflections of sort of the titles in music from what she has done. So I find this really amazing on how water is responding to us. So when we think about water, that it has potentially got this consciousness and that we can affect it. Those experiments that they did with rice, they also did with plants in schools. And those plants, they had the school children speak to one plant and say really loving words. I love you, you're great, you're awesome. And that plant thrived. And the second plant, same type of plant, same conditions, they spoke horrible things. They literally bullied the plant and said hateful things. And you could physically see it kind of as a kind of drooping. It was not as vibrant as the other plant. So when we take that to a deeper level and we think about the human body, our body is composed of 70% water. And we're affecting that water by the words that we say and even the thoughts that we think, because our thoughts emit energy. So if we're saying bad things about ourselves and putting ourselves down, then really that water in our body is going to look like that horrible, yucky black rice experiment, or it's going to be the upset plant, because we're not giving it love. So it's being mindful of that and how we are treating ourselves, how we treat others as well, and the fact that this water is going to affect not only sort of us, but down to that cellular level on how it affects our organs and how well it hydrates our body. So we really want to be conscious of the thoughts that we're thinking, but it also gives us an opportunity to be able to charge the water and to put intention into our water, to make it structured water. And when we can structure water, and there are lots of different ways we can structure water. When I talk about structuring water, we're kind of looking at when you get scientific, how the clusters are arranged in the individual molecules of water. And we really want to sort of work with water that's not been polluted, but showing that experiment that we did earlier with giving polluted water a prayer is able to turn it around. And we can structure water by some of the vortexes, and there's some vortex water bottles that we use. We can use sunlight, we can use scalar waves, we can use crystals and geometric things, and we can use literally the power of our intention, because those thoughts are charging energy. And if we're drinking better water, structured water, then we're able to detoxify our body. It enhances the process of how our body operates and functions. Those molecules are able to move more efficiently and effectively through our system, through our cells. The cell membrane, it passes through and really sort of hydrates the body from that side. And when we're able to consume more water, absorb more water in our system, then, hey, we almost reverse the aging process kind of thing. We help flush those toxins out of the body. It can help with weight loss. It promotes better sleep, boosts our immune system, good digestion, good skin. There's so many benefits of this merely by drinking more water. And having that intention in our water, we can really make ourselves radiate and shine. So it's also a good way of being able to spend at least a couple of minutes a day finding that stillness within and taking that time, those small steps, like you said, Lina, earlier, with how can we find that stillness with us. So what I really encourage people to do is every time they drink is just set an intention into that vessel that you're drinking from. What is it that you would like to charge the water with to bring you? How is it you'd rather feel? What is it you're manifesting? And take a moment to send those thoughts to the water before drinking it. And then as you drink it, that water is going to have that effect within your body. When you think about those beautiful water crystals that were formed, then, that's the mood almost that the water's sort of bringing into you, because it holds that memory of what you have just charged it with. It's like it is a living being, so precious to us on this planet. It comes in so many different forms from that side. So what can you do to charge your water? And I encourage you, if you have a moment now, if you've got a glass or a vessel, then take hold of it for a moment. I'd also be mindful for some of the cups and things that we drink out of. I know there's a lot of joking cups, but anything that has not so nice messages or jokes or swear words or things like that on your vessel, that is what your water is going to be charged with. So be mindful of what you're drinking out of. If you were grabbing a cup out of the office cupboard and, it's complaining about things or something, then you're likely to pick up on that energy. So just be mindful of that. I have such things as beautiful cups. I drink my cacao out of a nice, beautiful cup that's got crystals and things on it. It makes me feel good, and just know it's good juju energy when I drink that. So treat yourself. I like drinking out of nice things. So this is quite geometric as well, the shape of this glass, which again is going to sort of charge that water. And there are lots of vessels you can buy now to drink your water out of. Blue bottles are very good to put out in certain moons to charge your water from there. There are lots of flasks and things you can buy with, even just putting crystals in your water can charge that with the crystal. I do use a product in my water to really cleanse my tap water out and to make that structured, high vibrational. It's got a primordial source in there. So it really sort of makes my water a lot softer, tastier, and I know it is high vibrational. So when I can charge that water, and it goes the same with food as well. Think about fruits. How much water is in fruit and vegetable? When you're cooking your foods, adding water, or there's any liquid in there, again, they used to say prayer, didn't they, before eating meals? And again, that is setting that good energy into that food that you're consuming. So when we can do that to the fuel that we're taking in our body, then we're just empowering ourselves more. And it is another way that we can raise our vibration. So just taking a moment If you have got something now to just sort of hold, and you can be thankful for having this water or this beautiful drink with you. But what is it that you wish to call in? You can take a moment to close your eyes and connect with this beautiful water of life. If nothing else, just send it love, because what energy you project into that is going to saturate your body. It's going to fill you with that. It's going to amplify inside of you. So just connecting with that water, sending it good, loving intentions. If there's anything you wish to call in, then do so in a positive way into the water. You could ask it to bring you that abundance, prosperity, to bring you the good connections that you're after, just to bring you love and comfort. And then mindfully connect and drink in that water and just feel that going down inside, knowing that that water is going to carry those intentions to every single cell of your body. And that's just something you can do literally a few seconds every time you pick up a cup, a glass, a drink, something, and start feeling those benefits. But just remember, you are largely water, and your thoughts will affect how that water reacts within you. So be a little bit kinder to yourself, a little bit more loving to yourself, to make that water inside of you feel loved and happy, and it will reflect that. You'll start glowing with that as it comes through. So thank you.
Beautiful. And I did do a new moon ritual with some water and whispering intentions into that water. So I'll put that link it in the description box, because that's also good, even before you step into a shower, speak those good intentions as well. Before you go to the beach, refresh, revitalize, remove, whatever it is. Water is very, very high vibrational, very spiritual. Some say that, that is divine, the divine in physical form as well. So,
and people travel thousands of miles, don't they, to go and drink some sacred waters or
1000%. Yeah.
So
actually, in dreams, water is spirit. So whenever you see water and you see it in your dreams, if you see water in your dreams, that's spirit sending you a message.
And I love water. It's calming, very attracted to water. My light language is different around water. So, what's everybody's connection with water?
I think that's our homework for this week.
Yeah, as well as finding those few moments for that stillness, taking that rest while you charge your water. But yes, I think that's good practices for people to take, and those little small steps on, how you find that stillness within, how you can raise your vibration, not get caught up in the world around, and being okay because we've got that beautiful cup coming through at the end.
10 cups coming through, and 11 actually. But again, just on that note, just sit in your stillness, be the observer, and everything is going to be okay. Trust and know. And instead of turning on the nightly news, come to places like this. Come and watch our channel. Fill your mind with knowledge that is going to help you grow and you evolve along your journey. Yes, it's good to keep your ear to the ground and know what's going on, but don't stay there too long. We don't need to linger in those energies. Be informed and prepared if you need to, but grow your knowledge, your wisdom for yourself. And that's part of self-love as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you all so much for being here. Let's again ground ourselves, wrap up this moment, and continue about our day with love in our hearts, hope in our minds, and stability in our feet. So I ask you to roll your shoulders back, take a breath in, stare at a point in front of you, and when you're ready, gently close your eyes. We'll take 3 deep breaths in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more final breath. Inhale and exhale. Feel this moment. Feel the stillness. Thoughts may come and go. Do not attach to them. Place your left hand on your heart. Right hand also embraces your heart. And feel that energy flow from above down through your crown chakra, third eye chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus chakra, sacral chakra, and root chakra. Visualize roots growing deep into the ground, anchoring you into Mother Nature. And while you are here, envision a bold light running through your body, running through your chakras, reaching up to as high as you can imagine and anchoring you as deep as you can imagine to the earth. And with an inhale, gather all that energy, and with the exhale, surrender and let go of what no longer serves you. Feel that connection to the divine. Feel that connection to the earth. And feel that connection to yourself. And when you're ready, lower your hands, rest them on your lap or wherever you're comfortable. Inhale in. Exhale. And gently open your eyes. Welcome back.
So settling and grounding. Thank you so much for guiding us through that, Lina, and for your beautiful energy and sharing that. And thank you everybody for joining us here today. I hope much of this has resonated with you, especially as the readings did with me. I'd love to hear how that did. So be sure to make any comments below, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can keep up with our updates, and let us know if there's anything that you wish to hear about, because we'd love to help you on that journey, because that's what we're here for. We're here to all rise together. So let's rise together. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you.